Good evening. This is Rusty with Faith Baptist Church. Kind of in quarantine mode. So we've been here all week. I've worked from home for the last 5 days, and with my wife's also worked from home for 5 days, and it's been weird. We skipped Wednesday night Bible study, and we had our own little Bible study here, but it's just not the same without the fellowship of our church that we miss dearly. So I know that we are going to be doing a live stream tomorrow. We will have our doors open for those who want to go to church or who are needing salvation or answers. The pastors will be there. I won't be there, unfortunately. I'm gonna be watching from home. Um, See, I'm at risk, just like a lot of the population is. I'm not above 60 yet, but I turned 40 this year. But I am a dialysis patient with kidney failure, so and I had high blood pressure as well. So there's just too many factors that are. If I get this virus or if I eventually get it, it's better for me if the hospitals aren't swamped and there's open beds. So the longer it is before, if I ever get sick, the better. So that's what we're quarantined at home. We've been home all week. Not to say that it hasn't been awesome, but it's been pretty awesome. Um, I love working with my wife. I like having the opportunity to see her every day. And everybody knows me and Annalise. We spend a lot of time together outside of work, so it's going well. Just an adjustment on productivity and being, getting as much done as we want to get done for our jobs, and that's kind of how we both love our jobs and what we do. But what I wanted to do is talk a little bit about getting through some really difficult times. And I've been through some really difficult times. And whenever they told me my kidneys were failing 2 years ago, not quite 2 years ago, it's pretty devastating. The doctor looked at me like I was going to die. Like he's like, I'm sorry to inform you, but your kidneys are failing. And I knew I had some kidney issues and I have kidney issues in my family, but I had been told from another specialist a year prior that it could be years and years and your kidneys will be fine. And all of a sudden, I do blood work and they say, oh, yeah, they're done. So it was devastating because I didn't know how it would affect my family, how it would affect my children, and all those things that add up. And I'm being the breadwinner of my house and the leader of my household. I didn't know how that was going to affect it. And it did change a lot. And we went through a really hard time, but it wasn't as hard as it could have been. So I wasn't able to work while I was getting set up for my therapies and all these other things and healing times for surgeries I had to have with no money. Now, there was going to be no money earned in that time in recovering, which was about 2 or 3 months altogether. I had 3 surgeries in that time. But two things happened that just blew us away. One, my job sent me home with my office and it said work from home, work when you can, call us when you can work. And I was able to work a little bit and still kind of be involved. There was no way they were going to let me go. They were going to make sure they did whatever they could to keep me within that family. And I am still with Ardor Express and I'm thankful for what they've done. So that's one. Number two, my church family loved us so hard. And God showed up through their love that was so overwhelming because I'm thinking, how big is this challenge that I'm going to go through? How big is this life altering things that happen to my body that's never going to be the same again? And it felt so big. But then the love for my church was so much bigger, it felt like too much. It felt like they were fussing over us and they were loving us so much and meals and food and people came clean the house and people came in just every time they saw us encouraging words and they raised some money for us and they helped and we didn't get nothing turned off. We got behind on no bills, got nothing taken away from us. God showed up so huge in that moment and loved us that it was unmistakable that it was God. That God showed up. It was a God thing. And me and my wife have that. With things happen throughout our day and our weeks and our life, we know it's a God thing. Even now with this coronavirus, she talked to her company last week about, hey, if this such and such happens, can I work from home? And they sent her home with a computer on Friday. It was so accommodating. And we didn't know how bad it was yet. It was before all of this social distancing and this quarantine. that we were like, well, I'm going to go to work on Monday because I had still been going to work. I get to work, and I'm there no more than 30 minutes probably. And my boss says, hey, pack up your computer and head home and work from home. We're really concerned about your health and well-being, and it looks like it's going to get worse, so we're going to send you home. And that was Monday morning. And the love, again, from our church and everybody stepping up and for each other. And we have a church group that we're constantly checking on each other and talking to each other during this time of quarantine, that you can really feel the love amongst each other and our family at church. So I wanted to share a verse really quick. And it was a life verse long before I went through all these things in my life. And I truly believed it. And I had told people it was my life verse and something I held on to, but more so now, like way more so through the things I've been through. And it's God is going to work everything out to good. That God is going to take all the situations of the sinful world and make them good. And I know that when this is not the verse you want to repeat to somebody when they're going through a hard time, because sometimes they're not going to see it. But if you can understand and believe this verse, what a life verse to have. Romans 8:28, of course. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. It's like all things are going to work to our good. And I know that's people who get sick and all the people that are unfortunately losing their life to it. But hopefully people are crying out to God in this situation. And hopefully they're looking for God for comfort and salvation. Because it is a loss to lose a life, but a greater loss to lose a life to a lost person who doesn't know Jesus Christ. That's a bigger loss, unfortunately. Because God doesn't want any to perish and not go to heaven and spend eternity with Jesus and God in heaven. It's unfathomable. I have loved ones myself that I wish would understand that. So that's all I wanted to leave you with, an encouraging word tonight. This will probably go out late tonight. Sunday morning, there will be streaming service at Faith Baptist Church. We are going to do what we can for the community and for our fellowship, for our church. Love on each other, be there spiritually for each other, and for the community who, if they need us, will be there as well. So please keep up the prayers for us as we pray for you guys. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us on our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, emails, phone calls, however you get a hold of us. We'd love to know what we can do for you. I love all you guys. Thanks a lot. This has been Rusty with Faith Baptist Church. Thank you.